Hello Ghana, hello Accra, hello the rest of the world. This is MBN TV, live and direct from our studios located on the 10th Avenue Extension, Greater Estate. Welcome to this evening bulletin. First, the headlines. Let's tackle the issue Suleiman Ibrahim on presidential jet. In business, Bill Microcredit probes an altercation between field officers and a woman carrying a baby. On the international front, Ecuador deployed 75,000 soldiers and police to combat drug gangs. My name is El Samuels. The news is also live across our social media handle, MBN360, on X, YouTube, and Facebook. The details of the story. The executive director of the Media Foundation for West Africa, Suleiman Ibrahim, has called on political leaders to stop the partisan debate over Ghana's presidential aircraft and focus on finding a lasting solution.
Mr. Ibrahim has said the discussion about the presidential jet has been clouded by politics for too long, making it difficult for the country to address the real issue. According to him, the controversy surrounding the aircraft has largely been shaped by political narratives, particularly during the previous administration. He admitted that concerns about the cost of chartering private aircraft during the previous government were valid. However, he said that the situation was sometimes misrepresented in the public debate. He pointed out that not every country operates a presidential jet and that its leaders still manage to travel for official duties. He also questioned earlier claims by some politicians that the presidential jet was in excellent condition. He referred specifically to remarks made by the current Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, who had raised concerns about the use of chartered aircraft during the previous administration.
Now, obviously, it is the case that we don't have, as a country, a jet that the president can travel on, and perhaps we would have to see, well, the president should resort to the old practice of renting jets, and if the president is to rent, of course, we should all know that it will come with the requirements of safety and the standards that will be required for the president's travel. I think that what for me was quite fulfilling is the tone of the statement or the opinion expressed by Dr. Callistus, where he gives the clarity about the issue, that this is the situation. And then also points to the fact that, as was captured in the budget I think in 2025, arrangements are being made to procure an aircraft for the state that can be responsible for the president's travel. I think as a country, we just have to be bold to say, look, we've gotten to the point where we need a befitting aircraft for, state officials who would have to travel for purposes of, whatever is to the benefit of the state. I think the problem has been the politics about it. In the last regime, I think there was a lot of politics about the travels of the president. Yes, we admit it was quite expensive, but the impression was created as though the president had deliberately decided to avoid a well-functioning, as Okudzeto would say, an aircraft that is in a pristine state, and rather opted for expensive, luxurious chartered flights. I think the problem has been the politics. There's no doubt that the aircraft in question belongs to the president's brother. No one has denied that. And the president's brother, as we know, is a businessman. Does businesses with the state. And so, yes, people would say, oh, even without the aircraft, why? If Ibrahim Mahama wants a contract at a ministry, given his relationship with the brother, which minister would say no? But it then increases the whole thing when, as a state, if the president was doing a private trip, maybe he wants to visit his family in Damango, and decides that between here and Tamale, I'm on holiday. My brother's flight or my brother's aircraft is the one that is being used to take me there. Even that, there will be issues about, because he's the president of the republic.
An Accra High Court has dismissed a no-case submission filed by Bernard Entry Bosiaku, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi.
The court subsequently ordered the New Patriotic Party (NPP) Ashanti Regional Chairman to open his defense in an alleged illegal mining case. Justice Audrey Kukuvi-Tay ruled on Monday that the prosecution had successfully established a prima facie case against Mr. Bosiaku, his company Akonta Mining, and Mr. Kwame Entry, who is currently at large, warranting them to explain the evidence adduced against them. The accused person are standing trial for allegedly undertaking mining operations on a concession at Samriboy in the Western region without the consent of the sector minister. They are also accused of permitting two individuals to undertake mining activities on the concession without authority and facilitating those operations. However, the state, led by Deputy Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Dr. Justice Remsine, prayed the court to dismiss the application, containing that credible, admissible, and legally sufficient evidence had been laid touching on every essential element of the offences charged. The prosecution argued that Mr. Bosiaku admitted in both his investigation caution and charge statements that he allowed the second prosecution witness access to the concession. The state further maintained that the evidence showed the accused person did not merely allow statutory breaches to occur. The court agreed with the prosecution's position, ruling that there was sufficient evidence on record to require the accused person to mount a defense.
Some aggrieved supporters of the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, have locked up district office of the National Health Insurance Authority at Ejisu.
The youth are protesting what they describe as the neglect of party loyalists in government appointments. The supporters reportedly stormed the premises of the NHIA office and locked the facility, temporarily disrupting operations. They claim that individuals who worked tirelessly for the party ahead of the 2024 elections have been overlooked in the distribution of government positions. According to the demonstrators, the alleged neglect has created frustration among party supporters within the constituency. They believe their contributions to the party's electoral success have not been recognized, hence their action.
NDC task force and Mahu Yohano Quay and a body so essentially not your manager or her health insurance manager. Ya promoting the Edinoko Babifufro. You say NDC, Ejusoha. Ya kunkunde na ya ba power enti definitely mpanyimfo na omudi anima ya kunkunde no ya di bebre ebe hihye politics no wonso ahwe nkwala na omwofo ma omuye party no adwuma no na omudi omo nso ahihye o na obi akoma to nwem na mom ye nka bi hyemu ye manager ko ye be maye nipa a oda ya nim a ofri Ejuso ha no ya kofa obi efri babi ede no abre ye wo ha seto ye operation bebre bisa Ejuso ha Yeni krachini ya obetima health insurance ya obebre wa mpanyifo na omudi ye de maya kunkudi ma party no ba power no bebre wa obetima disadwan.
A scene of horror unfolded in the heart of Tema Community 1 on Monday, March 16, when helicopter emanated from the sky, crashing into the Oninku Drive School Park. The Ghana Civil Aviation Authority (GCAA) confirmed that the micro-light aircraft registered as 9G ADV crashed on Monday, 16th March 2026, with 2 persons on board. Both occupants perished in a resulting fire, leaving behind only the wreckage. According to an official press release, the aircraft was en route from Ho in the Volta region to Accra with an estimated arrival time of 3:20 p.m. local time, 15:20 GMT. However, air traffic controllers lost radio contact with the pilot at 2:18 p.m. 14 18, just over an hour before it was due to land. Further details will be provided in due course, the authorities stated in a brief release, offering little solace to those seeking immediate answers. The crash site in Tema remains condoled of as GCAA safety inspectors continue their work. The crash prompted a quick response from the personnel of the Ghana National Fire Service, who rushed to the scene to douse the flames at the site. With the help of law enforcement officers from the Ghana Police Service, the emergency response team managed to retrieve the charred bodies of the victims. Mr. Ahmed Abdullahi, the assembly member of the area, Kwesi Planch electoral area, said none of the students at Oninku Drive Park, where the crash occurred, was hurt.
And on a sad note, we go for a break. When we return, we'll bring you business. Welcome back. On the business desk, the management of Bill Microcredit Limited has launched an internal investigation into an incident involving 4 of its field officers and a woman carrying a child after a video of the altercation circulated on social media.
The video shows the company's workers struggling with the woman after one of them allegedly seized her phone by defaulted 300 Ghana cedis loan payment. The parties were also heard exchanging words in an attempt to retrieve the phone. The woman fell whilst holding the baby. In a statement issued on Saturday, March 14, the company said the incident was of a serious concern and that steps has been taken to establish the full circumstances surrounding it. According to the statement, the video appeared to show the woman attempting to retrieve a mobile phone from one of the officers whilst holding the baby, during which she reportedly fell. Management described the development as regrettable and said a full internal probe has been initiated to determine the fact. The company added that efforts are underway to reach out to the woman involved to ensure that the matter is addressed appropriately and resolved responsibly.
We're going for a break. When we come back, we'll bring you the stories on the international front. On the international front, the Ecuadorian government has deployed over 75,000 police officers and soldiers to 4 of the country's most violent racket province, the Interior Minister says.
The authorities have also declared nighttime curfew in these areas as part of a new phase in their war on criminal gangs. Since coming to office in November 2023, the President, Daniel Noboa, has tried to quell drug-related violence, but nevertheless, Ecuador registered a record murder rate in 2025. Noboa has also joined a U.S.-led intelligence of 17 countries aimed at fighting criminal cartels in the Western Hemisphere. Ecuador's geographical location, sandwiched between Colombia and Peru, the world's largest producers of cocaine, has turned it into a key transit country for illicit drugs. Around 70% of the cocaine produced in Colombia and Peru is estimated to be shipped through Ecuador. Noboa's government has been working with the administration of the U.S. President Donald Trump to quell the flow of cocaine from Ecuador to the U.S.
And this brings us to the end of this evening bulletin on MBN TV, coming to you live from our studios on the 10th Avenue Extension, Greater Estate. The news was also live on our social media handles, but before taking leave of you, we take a recap of our stories.
Let's tackle the issue Suleiman Abrahima on presidential jet. In business, Bill Microcredit probes an altercation between field officers and a woman carrying a baby. On the international front, Ecuador deploys 75,000 soldiers and police to combat drug gangs. My name is El Samuels. The news came to you live and direct from our studios on the 10th Avenue Extension, Greater Estate. For more news, log on to MBN 360. Do have a good evening.